I'm Shiffy Crane. I'm a geriatric care manager and a gerontologist. And my goal is to help families and seniors in a crisis. If your loved one is dealing with a change in their health or a major problem in where they're living, it is important that you turn to people who can be of help and that you're aware of the resources. So I want to speak with you now about putting it in writing. The essence of putting it in writing is to have an idea of what your loved one wants in terms of the legal and financial issues, and also in terms of the prolonging of life. It is really, really important that you have the conversation before your loved one is in the hospital or before the crisis hits. If you have a moment, make a list for yourself of the questions you want to ask your loved one. Where are the important documents? Are they in a safe deposit box? If they're in the safe deposit box, who has access to the key? If there are many people who will be helping you, it is important to have the names and phone numbers handy, including your loved one's attorney, accountant, and all the medical professionals. When you discuss these issues with your family member, the key to it is to say, you are able to give me a gift by telling me ahead of time how you want to be treated, what type of care you want, and also this pertains to funeral arrangements and burial. There are many clients that I have worked with who have all this information, but they have never told their children or their family members what they want and where the information is documented. Another option, if the person cannot write it down, is to have a video of them describing what they would like and where and when. For example, if a family member already has a burial plot, it is a big help to know where it is and to understand the terms. If your loved one has said, I never want to be on hospice care, that is something that we can respect. However, if several family members have a differing view on what should be done, and within that family we all know that the tension and the stress bring out the worst in people, it is extremely valuable to have an objective person who can help guide you through that process. Often, the family member will say, I don't want to burden my children with these topics. Everything will be fine. But it is a great relief to adult children to know what their parents' wishes are. One of the most important documents that people can fill out ahead of time is called the Durable Power of Attorney for medical purposes. And this allows you to give the power of your health care to somebody that you trust. It has to be in writing, and it has to be either notarized or have two witnesses. And the beauty of that document is that if you change your mind and you redo it, only the new one is valid. For example, if you have a family member, a spouse who you want to be in charge of your health, and you put that in the document, and that document is valid, unfortunately, if their circumstances change, or if they are deceased, and you have no alternate, then you are left without anybody to take care of you. So I suggest that on a periodic basis, you go through the documents that you have, that you keep them all in one binder, and you verify that the person or people you want to help you are still able and willing to do it. Another dilemma that I've come across is that the person who is going to be making your decisions for you is much older than you, and unfortunately, they're no longer capable. It is very, very helpful if you have that conversation and say, I don't think this is going to work for me anymore. Or you say, I am going to put somebody else as an alternate, so that if you don't want to or are not able to help me, there'll be somebody else to take care of it. I also feel that taking care of the durable power of attorney for finance will make your life much easier. Not deciding in a crisis, but sitting down calmly and determining who can really work in your best interests. Of course, if there is no family, it is important to turn to a professional such as a fiduciary who might be able to serve in that role. Another area that I will help my clients with is talking about how many artificial means I would like to prolong my life. It is easy to say when we are healthy, oh, that's okay, I'll just keep doing everything. But the reality is, after many hospitalizations, and often with many falls, a person is no longer willing to be kept alive in those circumstances. I recommend that you have these discussions with your family and with your doctor. And it's great to tell your children, I want this done. Are you willing to help me with this and this? Are you willing to help me follow my wishes? Also, it is very important to let your family member know what it is you want. Is it important for you to be in your own home? If it is not possible for you to be in your own home in your last months or weeks, how will that decision be made? We all realize that there is going to come a time where our decisions will be in someone else's hands. I feel it is important to tell your family member so that if one of your adult children or a spouse says, hey, I can't deal with that, I'm not going to be able to follow what you want, you have to make other arrangements. The other document that's very important, of course, is to have a living trust. And it is important to share where these documents are located. Another important document that I wanted to mention today is called HIPPA, and that is the privacy document that allows family members or interested loved ones to give access to your medical information to other people. If you're in a hospital or a nursing home or dealing with a medical procedure, unless you have signed a HIPPA document, when your families come to see you and say, how's she doing, you won't be able to get a response. It will be impossible for any medical personnel to divulge anything about you. And so one of the things I suggest to people is have the HIPAA document and keep a copy of it. You can name various people who you want to be aware of your care. Also, if you're a veteran, make sure that your family knows where all your discharge documents are kept. In order to access benefits from the government, you will be dealing with paperwork, and I highly recommend that you speak to a specialist in estate planning so that you know exactly how you're going to deal with the financial aspects. One last thing before I go, I wanted to mention that every state has different laws regarding power of attorney for healthcare, power of attorney for finances, etc. So it's important that you go to an attorney and get the right professional help. It may seem like it's very expensive to deal with it, but I highly encourage you to do so because it will save money and aggravation later on. Also, the laws are different from country to country. And that's what I wanted to share with you today about putting it in writing. Thank you so much.